Hello. This is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 244, Matthew, chapters 20 and 21. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
I'm ready to go. Are you?
Yeah, we better get going because it's kind of a long one.
Okay. Jesus told this parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay his workers a penny a day. A few hours later, he found some people at the marketplace with nothing to do.
He said to them, "Go work in my vineyard. I'll pay you whatever is right." And the workers went to work. At noon he went out again and found more workers, agreeing to pay them whatever was right. And he did the same thing a few hours later.
An hour or so before sunset, he found more idle people and said to them, "Go into the vineyard, and you'll be paid whatever is right." When the evening came, the Lord of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, from the last that was hired to the first."
Those who had worked for 1 hour received a penny. Those who had worked for 12 hours also received a penny.
That doesn't seem fair.
Not really.
Those who had worked all day for a penny complained to the Lord of the vineyard, saying, "Hey, we worked all day, through the heat of the day, yet you paid us the same as those who worked for only 1 hour at the end of the day."
He answered them, saying, "I did you no wrong. Didn't you agree to work for a penny? Take your penny and go away. I'll give a penny to those that I hired last, just like I gave you."
"Isn't it lawful for me to do what I want with my money? Is your eye evil because I am good? So the first will be last and the last first. For many are called, but few are chosen."
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff in that one.
Yep.
I think the workers are right. It really wasn't fair. And I think it would be right for him to pay people that worked longer hours more.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that he says is, "Your eye evil because I am good?"
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know what that's
Is that
about.
the evil eye?
Jesus had a thing about evil eyes, but I don't understand it.
Okay. Verse 17. Jesus said to his disciples, "We are going to Jerusalem, where the Son of Man will be betrayed to the chief priests and scribes, and they will condemn him to death." Steve, why is he talking in the third person?
I don't know, but he does that, The Son of Man will do this and the Son of Man will do that.
Yeah.
He's being a modest guy, I guess.
"He will be delivered to the Gentiles, who will mock, scourge, and crucify him. And on the third day he will rise again."
Yeah, this is the third time he's talked about it. He's getting pretty specific here.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely knows the future.
Yeah.
So the mother of James and John came to Jesus and said to him, "Let my 2 sons sit on your right and your left sides in your kingdom."
She's being kind of bossy
Yeah.
to Jesus.
Yeah.
And Jesus said, "The decision as to who will sit on my right and my left isn't mine to give. That's up to my Father."
Yeah, it's above my pay grade. When the other 10 heard about it, the other 10 disciples, they were angry with the 2 brothers. Jesus called them and said, "Whoever will be great among you will serve the others. The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to die as a ransom for many."
Verse 29. As they left Jericho, a great crowd followed them, and 2 blind men cried out, "Have mercy on us, O Lord, Son of David." Jesus touched their eyes, and immediately they could see, and they followed him.
Chapter 21. When Jesus and his disciples neared Jerusalem, he sent 2 of his disciples, saying, "Go into the village. When you find an ass and a colt, bring them to me.
If anyone says anything about it, say, 'The Lord needs them,' and he'll send them right away." Is he stealing them here?
It sure sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This was done to fulfill the words of the prophet, saying, "Behold, thy king comes to you meek, and sitting on an ass and a colt."
That sounds difficult to do.
Yeah, it takes practice.
The disciples did as Jesus commanded and brought an ass and a colt, put clothes on them, and set Jesus on them.
He's not going to ride bareback, so
Okay.
they're put their clothes on him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's going on here is that Matthew is quoting the prophet Zechariah, who was using the Hebrew poetry thing where you say it one time and then you say it again using different words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Zechariah really meant that he was going to come in riding on an ass and a colt. He's just saying it twice, really.
Yes.
But Matthew took it literally, and so he's having Jesus ride in on these two animals at the same time.
It's a picture to behold.
Yeah.
A great crowd spread their clothes and branches in front of Jesus and said, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest.
So that's Palm Sunday. That's where
Yes.
where all that comes from. So we're starting Holy Week here.
Oh, I guess we are.
Yeah. Okay, verse 12. Jesus went into the temple and threw out everyone who was buying and selling, toppling the tables of the money changers and those who sold doves.
He said to them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves.
Yeah, so he's quoting from Isaiah. The Old Testament is not very consistent about sacrifice, right? Sometimes it absolutely demands it and goes into all the details like you have in Leviticus where the instructions for it.
Yeah.
And other times some of the prophets say, I don't want the sacrifice anymore. Don't sacrifice to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether Jesus here is upset about the people buying animals to sacrifice and animals being sold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's just upset that someone is making money on that whole enterprise.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what, but he was upset. I guess he was saying that, it's supposed to be about prayer, not about selling things or about selling merchandise.
Even though you're selling merchandise to make a sacrifice to
please
the
God.
Lord. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing.
The blind and the lame came to Jesus in the temple, and he healed them.
Okay, verse 18. The next morning, as Jesus returned to Jerusalem, he was hungry.
When he saw a fig tree, he looked at it and found no fruit. So he said to the tree, Tree, no fruit will ever grow on you again. And the tree died immediately.
Yeah, that's one of the strangest miracles of Jesus. Killed a fig tree.
Yeah, I like figs.
Well, I do too. God does too sometimes. Sometimes it seems like God hates figs and sometimes it seems like he likes them.
Yes. The disciples said, Look how quickly the fig tree died.
Yeah, it's amazing. Jesus said to him, If you have faith and don't doubt, you'll not only kill fig trees, but you'll be able to cast mountains into the sea. If you believe, whatever you ask for, you'll get.
I don't think so.
No.
You have to be 2 or 3 of them or something.
How come people don't kill fig trees anymore? I don't.
It's a lost art.
Seems like that would be something people would be doing. We don't have any that grow around here, but you'd think they'd be going to tropical areas and just killing a few fig trees.
Maybe. Verse 23.
Okay.
When Jesus went into the temple, the chief priests and elders came to him and said, By what authority do you teach? Show me your teaching certificate.
Jesus said, Let me ask you a question. If you answer my question, I'll answer yours.
Was the baptism of John from heaven or from men?
They said, We can't tell.
Jesus said, Well, then I won't tell you where I get my authority.
I left out a couple verses here. But what they're saying is they talked among themselves and said, well, if we say that the authority came from God, then Jesus will say, well, then why didn't you believe him?
Yeah.
But if we say it didn't come from God, came from men, then it'll make all of his followers upset.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to answer the question.
Yeah.
So Jesus said, I won't answer it either. I want to answer where I get my authority.
Verse 33, Jesus said, There was a man who owned a vineyard and leased it to tenants and went to another country. When it was time to harvest the fruit, he sent servants to the vineyard to get the fruit.
The tenants beat one servant, killed another, and stoned another.
Well, they're pretty gutsy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the owner sent more servants, and the tenants did the same to them.
Finally, the owner sent his son, saying, They'll respect my son.
But the tenants said to each other, This is the heir. Let's kill him to get his inheritance. And they threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Oh my God. Who's the owner going to send now?
And then Jesus says, What do you think the owner of the vineyard will do to the tenants?
I guess that's what I said too.
Yes, it is.
The chief priests and Pharisees said, He will kill the tenants and lease his vineyard to others who will give him the fruit. Jesus said to them, "The kingdom of God will be taken from you and given to a nation that will bring fruits." After the chief priests heard this parable, they wanted to arrest Jesus, but they feared the crowds who thought he was a prophet.
Yeah, so Jesus is saying the kingdom of God, it's really meant for the Jews, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't
They're not
listen,
taken.
so he's going to
Yeah.
give it to another nation. He's going to give it to the Gentiles.
Ah. All right. Well, thanks for explaining all that to me.
Okay.
All right, listeners, thanks for staying with us. And Steve, I'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.